Local forecast with meteorologist Jackson Chastain starts now.
Well, this is what we're watching right now, and we've gotten a few updates to this, but the general picture is the northern tier of our viewing area under that winter storm watch. That is until this coming Tuesday in the afternoon. Places further north are actually under a winter storm warning, and for them, it's a little bit more significant. It is significant for us. I'll talk about that in a second. Right now, that system just entering Louisiana, it's got a little bit of a ways to go before it reaches us in PA. But with that said, it's always good to talk about things now to get things flushed out so you know what to expect. And at this point, kind of a slushy situation. I mean, literally, starting out is rain. That'll be Monday evening. Now, once you get into the morning on Tuesday, you are going to see that rain mix into snow. Then you'll start to see accumulation. Now, the problem with all of this is that the air is going to be incredibly warm, and I'll touch on that in just a moment. But basically what we're seeing here is rain around midnight. Then after sunrise, you see that snow starting to mix into the region. The bulk of that snow arriving around 9, maybe 10 a.m. And then you get into the early afternoon and things start to fall apart again. So it's a small window where you're going to see heavy snowfall rates in places. And then by the evening time, you should be good to go. But the issue is, and it seems to be the issue here, as always, the air maybe not the most supportive of a heavy snow accumulation, with temperatures at about 35 degrees, 34 degrees, hovering just above that freezing mark at the prime time that we're expecting this snowfall to occur. The snow is actually going to have to fight against this air in order to build up that accumulation. That does not mean the snow isn't going to fall. In fact, it will fall, and you're likely to see some big, fat, heavy flakes, but that should not scare you because a lot of it's going to melt as soon as it hits the ground. It's going to take a little bit for it to actually start accumulating, and once it does, you get into lunchtime and we're back in the 40s. So a lot of this stuff is going to accumulate, then it's going to start to melt rather quickly. The overnight does support some below freezing temperatures, but again, not the best environment for heavy snow. And with that said, much of the northern tier of our viewing area is only going to see about 1 to 3 inches. I think 3 is generous. I think 2 or less is probably closer to the sweet spot. If you're further to the south in Gettysburg, York, and a lot of these places, expect a lot of rain. It's only further to the north in places like Altoona. You get to places like the Poconos, they're going to get maybe 4 to 6 inches. Here in the mid-states, no dice if you want anything significant. Now, as for temperatures right now, upper 40s. We get through the rest of the evening. We don't drop all too much, upper 30s for that morning temp on Monday. And we start the week relatively cool. We continue to cool down heading into the end of next week. Lows getting into the 20s and a much more seasonable outlook after what was a very mild weekend we had this past weekend. Jared?